Today I'm going to take you with me as I explore our friend Eugene's junkyard. I'm in search of something unique to use for doors on the shed that I made. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video to see exactly what we'll be bringing home and what we brought home. It's definitely not what we expected. I found this last year, and I think it's a 65 two-door Galaxy. I brought Richard over here, showed it to him. He actually loves it, and he has been on the fence about getting this thing for over a year. I don't know about any of you watching, but for me, when a car is trapped by trees like this, I don't know why, to me that is so much fun, just to free the car. To me, this is more fun than seeing if it will actually get started. Look at how that tree has grown up through there. It's just unreal. Wow. I don't know why, but I really kind of like this truck. Let's get a little closer. All right, let's see what's inside of here. The window's a little dirty. It's kind of hard to see. And of course the sun is not cooperating. So I can't get a good view of the dash. And of course, well, I'm not going to get this door open. And I don't know that I can make it around to the front. It's pretty cool. Now, if I can get out of here, we'll go a little further. It might take me a minute, so I'll come back. Check out this old dump truck. It's very small in the back, but this is another, oops, sorry about that. It's the crushing of the leaves. This is another one that I just find super cool. The dash is so simple, so simple. I don't know if you can see that because the windows are so dirty. But it's so simple and yet so beautiful. The seat looks almost perfect. There's a big hole over on the driver's side, but and look at these windows. I mean, not windows, but look at these mirrors. They definitely wanted to make sure they could see what was going on back there. And then look at this tree. Nature at its finest. Gotta love it. Looks like an International stuck back in there. A couple of trucks. It's just so interesting. You never know what you're gonna find at one of these places, and I just love that. I love it. It's not just cars, but it's just a little bit of everything. If there was something that someone didn't want, or pieces of metal, like this metal rack here and another one there, and I'm sure there's probably 20 more on the property that someplace didn't want, or they were closing or going out of business, and these places would take them because they knew they could possibly be used for something else, like a shelf for cinder blocks, or they could be sold for the weight of the metal. And I find that interesting. But look at this double cab. Isn't that so cool? It's insane. The length, I would guess, if I had to, 30 feet. I don't know, maybe 24, but it's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to go over there. I can get a little bit better look over here, and still pretty cool. Let's go over and check out this this cab. All right, let's check it out inside. One of the windows is broken, so I can easily see in there. And I'm kind of surprised that it looks as nice as it does, considering this window's broken, that window's broken. Let's take a look in the back here. Wow. That would have easily, 6 people could have easily gotten in there. 3 in the front, 3 in the back. This is a great work truck. I love it. I absolutely love it. Old lawnmowers. And if you've ever been to one of these places, you'll see a lot of those. Now, I am getting ready to reach an area where you can tell not many people get to. So I'm going to have to put the phone down and fight my way through some of this. Hopefully there's something super exciting on the other side. Okay, I made it through, and I never knew there was a creek here. Eugene has a pretty nice sized creek. I mean, it's not as good as Rust Creek Hill, but it's not bad. Okay, so I told all of the killer thorn vines over there that was the best no trespassing sign I've ever seen, or felt, I should say. Look at this. Oh my gosh. How cool. And I'm always wondering what I'm going to find around the next corner. So this is an area that Richard and I really never got to just kind of look around. That's why I didn't know there was a creek right there. So now it's kind of fun that I have time just to explore and check out what is behind that next corner. So I have always thought that there were only three Chevys on this property. Looks like I have uncovered a fourth. Look at that. Okay, number 4. Let's go to the other side and see what's going on over there. So I really can't see what may or may not be under there. Maybe when I go back and look at that, I might be able to see something. Unfortunately, there's a huge tree right here. Whoa. And you can tell the seat's gone. This is a short bed. And, oh, look, there's a crack in the door. Hold on. Let me get through here. Whoa, I still can't see. Maybe I can look through the hole of the gas tank. It looks like it's been pretty picked over in there. But, let's see. Well, this has been here for a while, hasn't it? Wow, it looks pretty good on the back. Let's check the bed out. I mean, there's leaves there, but I'm thinking there has to be somewhat of a bed or else the leaves wouldn't be there. So this is pretty cool. Too bad that tree is there, but that's still pretty cool. So Eugene did tell us about this fan. I believe it might have been this summer, well, last summer, I don't know. But there's no engine. I think that's been taken out. But I think the body looks fairly decent, to be honest. The inside, there's not much left. But I think it's still kind of cool. I like it. Now I'm not sure what all of that is about. I may have to go over and check it out. But first, look at this Sophia. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is really something I didn't expect to see here, to be honest. Oh, and look at that old Ford with the V8 right there in the front. Oh, I love that. Another double cab. And then an old Ford truck over there. But this one makes me laugh. I'm gonna have to go check out that heavy duty old Ford right there. Check it out. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I can still see, I don't know if you can, it says Big Shot window shield I guess it was for a windowsill cleaner over there, that bag. Wow, someone lost their shirt in here. Shoot, I bet they've been looking for that for a while. That's too bad. But look at this. Can you see that glisten in the sun? Wow. I absolutely love big trucks like this. I know that they are probably incredibly hard to work on, But I don't know, there's something about them I really just love. Look how that is, was that the gas tank and they had put a lock on it so someone couldn't steal the gas? I don't know. It kind of seems like that to me. I could be wrong, but if that's what that's for. So, okay, I'm going to try to get through here. Look at that Old International right there. Wow. Okay, let me get through here so you don't have to hear leaves crunching, and we'll check some of this out. So I kind of zoomed in on that, and I couldn't tell the date, but the mileage on that was 70,000. Look at the tags. I don't know why, I always like to look at those. Look inside. I love inside. It has that green color that was so popular for so long. And the dash again is so simple, and yet I just find it beautiful. I'm not sure I can get in there any more than this because of the door. Look how big the numbers are on the speedometer. That's amazing. I was hoping to be able to see the mileage to compare it to when it was the oil was changed on that 70,000 sticker, but I'm not sure I'm going to see that. And then what is in here? You know, I've got to try to take a peek at what's in there. Nothing maybe, but look at that. I just love this. Floors are gone, but honestly, this thing, I do not see an insane amount of rust on it. Maybe just a little bit right there. Maybe just that. Right. And this tank over here, I do not see any lock on it, if that's what I saw on the other one. There is quite a bit of rust on the front of the hood. That's too bad. What is this sign here? It looks like it was maybe part of a sign. I don't know. But all right, let's go check out this International now. She's been cleaned out under the hood. International Lodestar 1800. It's pretty awesome. So let's go back through there and see what we find. There's another huge truck over there. I love it. Remember when I said that you probably find a whole bunch of the similar type shelving, that metal shelving? Well, there you go. There you go. There has to be a use for that. I mean, that's just too nice not to be used for something. And he has quite a bit of it, so I mean, I can think of probably several things it could be used for, especially if you had a shop. Look at this old thing. That's great. Okay, so I'm gonna start heading back toward there. And I don't know, maybe there's nothing back there, but Richard and I have never kind of looked in this area, so now's the time. So I noticed that there was a lot of trees that have come down in this area, and it honestly just looks like they've kind of fallen down. And I noticed that this had some insane turkey tail growing on it at one time. This is a sure sign that your tree is pretty much dead when you have mushrooms growing on it. But then I looked over there, and those are beautiful, so I'm gonna have to check those out. I know, but I did say I was going to explore. Wow, look at those. Now, I did say I was going to explore the junkyard. Boy, they go all the way down to the next one and the next one. And when I explore junkyard, I need to get out of the shade so you can actually see the blues on those. Those are gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. So again, I like to explore everything. You know, the scenery, the trees, what's growing up around it, the vehicles, the metal junk pieces that were brought in from who knows where. I like to look at everything, not just the vehicles. You get to learn a lot about history that way. So by those little boogers there that you can see everywhere, He has a lot of sweet gum trees around, which is actually pretty cool for me because I've been looking for some of those, and today I have found them. So I am really far back in the woods, and this is the only thing that I've come across. I'm not sure what this was at one time, but I do not see anything else back there. False turkey tail. Okay, I've been back this far. I think, I'm almost sure. I will know shortly. Maybe I'll find something in there. That would be so cool. Yes, I have been here. This is that spot, that empty spot right there. That's where we pulled out the white Torino, the 1971 Torino parts car. You know, I have to say that I think Eugene has one of the best collections of tailgates and bumpers that are in really good shape. And you can look around here. If you are looking for a Ford tailgate or bumpers or even trim, let me tell you, Eugene has got it. I know a lot of people say, oh, everything there is junk. And I mean, I disagree. I disagree. If you're looking for something that you want to restore, you know, without a lot of money or an engine you can use, then I guess you're not going to find things like that here, and then you might think it's junk. I don't think any of this is junk. I think that this is a remarkable place, and I get to see things that I may never have gotten to see. And you know what? I consider that a blessing. And to me, it will never be junk. So I don't know if Richard showed this in the video last year, but I checked this out for a long time. I really like this truck. Yeah, the inside's missing, but the body overall, it's in pretty decent shape, and it's a short bed. It appears the last time someone drove this was in 1982. It's a short bed. There is, you know, spots of rust here and there in the normal places, but I mean, as far as the body goes, I've seen a lot worse. And again, it's a short bed. And if memory serves me correctly, yeah, there's the grill right there. So the grill is still here. Tailgate, there's probably one here. But this is one that I really, really like. There's another Ford short bed right there. Tailgate could do some work, but it's there. Now, I have not looked over here on this side, maybe ever. And let's see what we'll find. Wow, look at this tractor. Oh my gosh. I guess that was what it's called, a tractor. Wow. Okay, that would look really cool at Rustry Hill as just art. I love that. That old Massey Ferguson. You gotta love it. See, to me, that is a newer truck. That's not a no truck. That's how my mind works. I'm like, no, that's a new truck. I don't want to look at that. Oh, wow. It's a short bed, but it's really wide. Oh my gosh. I wonder if someone had to put that on there, no? Because it looks like you put that door on there from another truck and maybe the bed. Oh, that's pretty cool though. Okay, so here's one of the 3 Chevys I said I knew was on the property until I found the 4th one. And I was kind of wondering if I might find something from there that I can put on the shed. But I'm not really sure. So only one way to find out. Let's go check it out. Okay, so this is the inside. Wow. That's crazy. Is that an old CB radio? Can you see it right there? Wow. Unfortunately, the step is gone, so I really can't step up here, but I can lean over just to see what I can see. Boy, this thing's really, really rough. Oh my gosh. CD player, boombox. Yeah, do you see what I mean when I say the step's gone? Yeah. I'm thinking that there is nothing here that I would take for my shed, but I haven't shown you what I kind of have in mind, and it's further up. But I want to make sure there's nothing back here that's going to change my mind, but you'll see that shortly. There's another short bed right there, and that is not a short bed, but look through here, it's pretty cool. Okay, let's get going. Oh, those are super cool. I think they're really, really beautiful. I have seen several of these back at Rush Creek Hill. It's not a turkey tail, it's a close relative. They're actually starting to do research on that for medicinal properties, and they've actually found quite a few already. So that's pretty cool. Look at this oldie but goodie. Also a short bed. Wow. That's crazy. But it's so cool. The shape of the truck. I like that a lot. Of course, you won't be able to see it once the sweet gum bloom in a few months. It will be lost until next fall. If you're looking for a pull slide, bam, right there. Now we are getting ready to go to the place where we dug the first Torino out. Believe it or not, it was on New Year's Eve last year, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but today is New Year's Day. So this is where we pulled my Torino out, the first one, and the one that was a halo top that we later discovered, well, the frame fell apart. So that's why we bought the white parts car Torino that I again found. But this is where it used to be, and it sat here for like 35 years. And this truck, so many people commented on this truck, and I can't remember. They were telling Richard that this truck was in a movie with Charles Bronson. And so later that week, guess what we did? We watched the Charles Bronson movie, and it was interesting. It was interesting. So I have been trying to get Richard to go back and try to get this started again. So he tried to start this last year. If you watch us on What the Rust, he spent many a day trying to get this to start, and he couldn't get it started. So we were watching the video of it and thinking of anything we might be able to try, reading readers' comments. So I think I've talked him into maybe giving it another go. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, I spotted this through the window and I had to come over here. It looks like the springs on their seat were probably poking them in their bottom, so they put this pillow in there. Oh, and it's a Packers pillow. That is seriously funny. That is pretty funny. And, well, look, we have another double cab over here. It's a super cab. Super cab. Well, it's been picked over pretty good inside. But believe it or not, the cab itself, I mean, there's some rust, but that's not the end of the world. Boy, those gum trees are everywhere. That's good for me. I've been looking for those, as I mentioned before. And surprised Richard never tried to get that going. I'm glad he didn't. Some of you will probably be like, be quiet, he should have. That pimp mobile right there, yeah, it's actually pretty nice inside. Let's go take a look. Here we are. It is complete, and it looks really nice inside. I'm sure you can still kind of see in there. It's actually shocking that it's still that nice. Look at that. Boy, that was probably pimping right there with that sunroof. Wow. I'm actually surprised no one contacted him to buy this. But, where do I want to go next? I know this area like the back of my hand. It's kind of funny because I've been here so many times, and whenever I get the chance, I sneak away. I tell Richard I have to go to the bathroom, and then I just like wander around for like 30 minutes before I head back. But there are parts of this place I know better than Eugene. I think that's fairly cool. But I can hear Richard off in the distance, so I got him to take a step out of his comfort zone to work on some things that he's never worked on before. I'm really proud of him for stepping out of his comfort zone and wanting to tackle some new projects. So let's go check on him. This is a huge Chevy bed. It is not a Chevy truck. It's just a Chevy bed. Which reminds me, there was a Chevy truck, just the truck, the body, no engine. I didn't see it over there. But there we go. I just wanted to say that in case someone said, there's some Chevy stuff. I said vehicles. I wasn't talking about a random part. Okay, Ace, let's go see if Richard's doing okay. I always thought this was a cool one as well. Yeah, it's a 4-door, but just because it's a 4-door doesn't mean it's not cool. Well, I know like 90% of you will say it does mean it's not cool, but it doesn't mean that it's not cool to me. And a lot of truck beds just sitting around here. I'm sure they'd like to find a home. I'm not sure, but there are several people over there working now. I guess it was a little bit more difficult than they thought. And I hear Eugene coming up in his wheelchair. Okay, so I have looked at this for 2 years and often thought I should just ask Eugene if I can buy that for like 20 bucks and take it back and see if I can somehow make something of it for the shop. I think today I'm finally gonna ask. It's pretty rough, but maybe even if I just cut the front off, that'd be pretty cool in the shop. And I just would like to point out that there's a grill right there. If someone is wanting, you know, like a cheap grill, bam, it is right there. Do you see it? It probably still works here, so somebody should buy that. You never know what you're gonna find in the tall grass. More riding lawnmowers. Surprise, surprise. Oh, there's a push mower. Oh my gosh. What does he have over here? Bikes? More push mowers? A freezer maybe? More push mowers. A little tiller. Just a little bit of everything. I guess that's what you do when you have a little bit of this and a little of that. You just make corners, right? So that way you know where it is. So Eugene is actually surrounded by farm on both sides, the front, the back, and Eugene and his family are no strangers to being farmers, which I love. And I'm going to show you something really cool that involves Eugene, his family, and farming from many, many decades ago. So unfortunately that required a lot more than what Richard had brought, so they moved over to this smaller one. I always thought that would make a good bird bath. There's one over there too. Might do it. Someone out there is probably cursing me at this moment. Don't make that into a bird bath, dear God, get her out of that junkyard. Yeah, it happens. So I always try to walk really slowly when I get to areas like this, because I don't know, you just never know what you're going to find that you might be able to do something with. And you never know when you might find like an old can that you've never seen, or a piece of machinery that you've never seen and you have no idea what it's used for, and I can say, Eugene, what is this? And he tells me, and I learned something I had no idea that I would never know, and I really like that. Okay, so do you see these small falling down small buildings? Well, Eugene had told me the story of these, and it was in the first video we ever did of this junkyard, but I just love the story, so I'm going to tell it again. The sun's in a bad spot. Let me see if I can move over. So in the 40s, during World War II, his family grew corn, so it could be turned into cornmeal for the military. And the military had built these little small places for them to store the cornmeal in after it was made. And after the war was over, they said, what are we supposed to do with those? And they said, whatever you want. And so they kept them and used them for storage. And I just always thought that was just so cool. And there's something I learned. I did not know that they built small places like this for farmers to store things in after they had made them, so that someone could come by and pick them up later. And so another little piece of a history story that I didn't know, but I found out in a junkyard. Oh, wow, check out the soda vacuum. Again, never know what you're gonna find. It has a lot of things like this. Sorry about the crunching. I mean, you look inside, you can tell that many decades ago, someone had already changed this into like a little living quarters that was on wheels. Super cool. Just love this place. I think I've said that many times already. I asked Eugene why he had all these refrigerators, and he said that, you know, back in the day, people needed to get rid of something and they would just bring it here. And that's how a lot of this ended up here. And I think that's a common story that you'll find in a lot of these old places. I might be needing some of those. I have to talk to Eugene about that. Now, Eugene said that this is a very rare convertible and that there were only 1,600 or so built. It's pretty cool. You really can't tell what it is anymore. And unfortunately, about 20 or so years ago, when Eugene was in the hospital, Eugene is a cancer survivor, by the way. He was there for quite a while, and a lot of people came by and, well, unfortunately, stole a lot of the valuable car parts, or in this case, they tried to take things that had the VIN number on it. They weren't very successful, but so a lot of things are kind of in disarray from 20 or so years ago. You know, the fact is that, as sad as it is, it's my understanding that Eugene had a form of cancer that affected his back, and after he recovered from treatment, he just really couldn't walk anymore. I mean, he can walk maybe a few feet here and there, but he's in the wheelchair most of the time. And with age and his friends passing on before him and his son passing away, he didn't have a lot of people to help him with this anymore. And I remember the first time we recorded this junkyard, people were so judgmental. How could he let that happen to those vehicles? Why didn't he take care of them? And sometimes your health goes, and the people that you relied on to help you are no longer here to help you, and your other friends, their health is not as good as it was, and you're just kind of stuck. And there's no one to blame, and there's no one to accuse someone of not taking care of things, because sometimes that's just what happens. So let's be nice in the comments. I have no idea what this was at one time. Oh my goodness. I have no idea. Now, no visit is complete without hanging out for, 10 or 15 minutes with my good friend there, who's like, Christina, you never go to that side. What is going on? And I always bring you hot dogs, don't I? And she is adorable. I just gave her 2 hot dogs. So I'll give her a hot dog and she'll take it and she'll like put it under the tree. And then she'll come back over and I'll give her a second hot dog and she'll put it under the tree. And until I pet her on the head and tell her she's a good girl, she won't eat them. She just leaves them there. And I'll tell you, she's left them there before for like hours until I remembered, oh my gosh, I have to go back and tell her that she's an amazing dog and she should go eat the hot dogs. And she just did that a while ago. She went and got them, did the whole routine, and then I finally remembered, come back here. You're such a good girl. Now go eat your hot dogs. And she ran over there and just swallowed them whole. But I don't know why. That's one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. All right, now let me get out of here. Talk about creativity. Look at this swing set that he had made for his grandkids at one time. Oh my gosh. Eugene is just the greatest at everything. So let me show you what I think I've decided that I'm going to ask Eugene if I can purchase for the doors on my shed. Okay, so there you go. Those doors are beat up and rusty, and I feel like that fits the theme. And he has quite a few on these old delivery trucks, but I'm thinking that maybe possibly he might part with these. He's got some stuff stored in there, so I don't know. I think he'll part with them. So I'm gonna see how much he wants for those, because we always pay for the things that we get from Eugene. These were another option, but I think that they are too big for the shed. So, and they're not as rusty. And I don't know why, I just really like those. So I don't know how many of you are watching have seen the video where Richard got this crazy piece of machinery started. The front part of it, I never thought he would, but he did. And then here is this one. Richard did not get this one going. It drove him absolutely batty, and although you don't know it, because we cut that part out, I have never heard him curse so much as he did with this thing right here. Just a gorgeous view. And I always thought that made such a cool picture. That would be a totally cool stand, maybe for a tree house for a kid. When we were here a few days ago, I had to walk around and recommend a few projects to Richard to come out and work on. Don't worry, the school bell is not one of them. It's just really cool, so I wanted to get an image of it. But I had to do that because, to be honest with you, I miss coming to visit Eugene. So I had to find some things for him to work on so that I could come out and visit Eugene more. Well, let me show you what I think he's going to work on next that I'm so proud of. You know what? That door might be pretty cool in the shed as well. Oh, now I'm stuck. I don't know if I like that one more or that one. That one is pretty cool. Believe it or not, this used to transport chickens to Tyson Chicken. They used to have chickens in there, and they would take them, you know, to become chicken salad. So, oh, wow. You gotta admit, one of those old doors off the bus, it's pretty wide. Well, at least the one I saw over there is. And I think definitely the lawnmower would get through there. This is also pretty cool that he uses for storage. But now I'm kind of torn. What to do? What to do? Okay, so do you see that 18-wheeler right there? That, believe it or not, is what I told Richard I thought he should try to get going. So he researched it, and he's going to give it a try. And look at the back of it. I used to tow cars. How could you not love that? Okay, are you ready? You want another hot dog? Okay, got it? All right. Are you gonna eat it? Do you want me to tell you you're a good girl? Okay, come here. Come here. Oh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. She's my friend. I love her. Okay, go eat your hot dog. Go get the hot dog. Go get your hot dog. I didn't mean you had to bring it to me. She's so funny. Good job. Good job. Okay, now this one. She wants some hot dog too. Oh, he's ready for another one. All right, let me put this camera down and pass out treats. I didn't know they were waiting for me before they tried again. Okay, go ahead. I was busy feeding the animals. Woo!
Yeah!
Good job.
All right! It does sound good.
You got it. Woo!
Nice.
I knew you could do it. I knew you could. How could you not love that picture? Doesn't it look perfect? Old rusted Studebaker. Sun going down. Woods behind you. That's picture perfect right there. The day's over. We're showing Bart around. He's like us. He's a kid in a candy store.
It's hard to tell because the hood's back there in it. No.
No. Shoot, fire. Yeah, it was
back there except the hood because there's no floor in the bed.
It was worth a look.
Is it a wood bed? Yeah. Oh, look at that. All these years of looking for a rear bumper and there's one right here.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
Well, I mean, it's hard to... You have to look for a while sometimes around here.
Yeah, there's my rear bumper.
Gosh.
Yep.
I almost think you should get it because you might need another one someday.
Yeah, there's nothing under there, near as I can tell.
Huh, the dash and stuff is still there and complete. Someone's upgraded the seats at one time. Look at that oat. Yeah, an oat. Yeah, but look at that oat steering wheel. Do you see it? Ah, tiny steering wheel.
Yeah. That was somebody's baby.
Yeah, they put the
Look at, they painted the frame and everything.
yeah. Yeah.
Funny how things end up in the junkyard.
Let me back this out.
Into it.
Well, this is another one that has a nice body on it. I mean, considering, you know, it's junkyard and stuff, it's still not horrible. So you remember this old thing that I'd been passing by for 2 years? Well, guess what? It's finally going to be coming to our home. Eugene did not want to part with doors from the back of the buses, which is a shame because there was actually a Chevy bus there. That's the third vehicle that I knew of, and it was getting kind of cool thinking about putting a Chevy bus door as the door to the shed, but that's okay. These are the doors that I'm going to be bringing home. And this is the most unexpected item that we drove home with. That's right. His cat had just had kittens a few months back, and well, we decided that our home was big enough for one more. Hey. She says, no, you don't want to take a kitten home. You want to take me home. That's what you're saying, isn't it? Yeah. Thanks for watching and spending the last 45 minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, have a wonderful week. Stay safe and God bless.